Okay, so here we have the opening screen when you get to Trading Station, and I close a lot of. Actually, I by default I close a lot of these because you don't need them open. I don't trade off of the advanced dealing, so I close this. I do keep this open, and I'll show you why in a second. The orders I don't keep open. I do keep the close position open, so that way at the end of the day I can see what I did trade-wise, and then also the summary. And this is important because I use this to get out of trades once I get in a trade. And this I close this, and the actions I don't need this open either. Usually closed positions I put it up here with this, and actually I keep it. I take it back. I don't keep it with the simple dealing rates. What I do with the closed position is I put it with my account information, and I have actually closed that because I don't want you to see my account number. So at this point, but that's what I keep this with. So actually this is going to go on the desktop, and summary is too, because that's how you can close out a trades. So then just looking at the options here, I like for the skins I go with the max style, and there's a reason. It actually shrinks everything up so you get more space on your chart. So that's one of the first things, if you want to improve the way your charts look and so forth, you want to actually do the max style. And what happens when you apply that, you just click on it and then press OK. It actually puts it on there. I already have it on here already, so that's why mine might look a little different than normal. Then to get the charting going, you have to open the market scope and I'll come back to this other one in a second, so I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. And then to get your charts going, what you want to do is you actually want to you can quit out of these actually because you don't want those. You can go to create market shot, pick the pair that you want to put on there, and then your time frame, which is, if you see the defaults, they're M5 and M15 in the range that we're looking for, but we're looking for M10, so we're just going to type in M10, and it'll give us the chart. And what happens is then you just want to pull your chart off this. You just pull it off here, and then you can size it any way you want to. You put it up here. So then if you want to get like 6 charts, and unfortunately you're not, because of all this stupid stuff up here, you're not going to get the same amount of chart real estate that you would with GFT. That's an unfortunate thing. Now I did shut off something else on this. I went to options. So I right clicked on my chart and I went to options, and I shut off where is it? It is it's under chart view options. You go to chart view options, the separator point color, I turned it off. Usually it's this way, and so it's got all this extra stuff up here, and then once again it's taking more chart real estate. So if you want to shut that off, I found that gives you more real estate, and then press OK. And then if you want to change the chart colors too, that's another thing. If you right click and say options, you can change your background color and so forth. You can go with different color schemes too. If you click on their color schemes, you can, if you decide if you want to go with white, hit apply. It looks a little different, but then you get blue and white candles. This will get you your green candles if you prefer that. And then once you do that, then all you have to do is create your market shots for all your other pairs. So actually I should just type it in, M10, press OK. And once again, it's going to put it in here, and you can actually just drag it out and then make it smaller, and then put it up here. And then that's what you do with all your charts. Just keep doing your market shots and changing your pair. And then there it is. You can put it out here. You got to be careful when you drag these. See this, when it does this, it's going to want to stick it on with this chart, and I don't want it on this chart. So just move it up a little bit so you're not near it when you do that, and then you can size your chart and put it where you want to. And then when you're all done, what you might want to do is you might you might want to go to layout and say save layout, and that'll save your layout. You give it a name, it'll actually save your layout. Now, the other thing that I was telling you about is that if you click here and you open this back up, I like to pull this out and have this out because I like to order from this, and this is just my personal preference. You can order from the charts. This is a little bit easier. And then the other thing I like to pull out is the summary, and the reason why you want to pull the summary out is because that's a good way to I'm going to minimize that. I didn't close that, I minimized it. And then you can right click and shut some of these off. So like I shut that off, and net limit, oops, actually, sorry. And then like net stop, and I shut a lot of these off, and the reason why I do is that way I can make this really small, because this is going to show me how well I'm doing with my trade. And then what's going to be nice is if I actually place an order and I have my trade going, I can right click on this and close my position. It's hard to see there, but it says or close all positions or whatever. So I right click after I get into a trade. So I have this down somewhere on my screen so I can get out. Now the reason I have this, the nice thing about this is that to get into a trade, all you have to do is, like if I want to go short, I just click right here, and then it's a market order. It makes it so easy, and then hit, go ahead and hit OK and start my trade. And if I want to go long, then I would do the same thing here too. So I would just click here and go ahead and press OK for my trade. And then, if you wanted to, you could. If let's say you decided you're going to place your trade here. You could right-click on and say create a market order, and that's another way you could do it. The only other thing is getting out of the trade, and I find it easier once again to have this, right-click on it and say close position. It's the fastest way. Now the other thing is your chart lines. First of all, there's a grid on here. To get rid of that, you can say click right there and say hide grid. And then to create your lines, you want to click outside over here, and you want to go ahead and say add horizontal line. And then go ahead, you can type a number here and press a 0 and press OK. And then there's your line here. If you want the default line to be a different color, you can make it black. And if you want it to be a little bit thicker, you go ahead, hit apply, or I'm sorry, set as default, yes, and then press OK. So then all the other lines that you create will actually be that way too. So let's say if I wanted to go ahead and put this at 8. Press OK, and there's my line there, and then so forth, and then you can keep going. To size your chart, you just go like that, and you can make it smaller this way or longer. So it's fairly easy. That's pretty easy. One of the things you want to make sure and not have checked is, or actually click on, is have this auto scale on, because then you won't be able to. Well, let's see if it's on. Oh, I guess it's working fine, but usually sometimes when this is on, what will happen is you won't be able to make it thinner for whatever reason. So anyway, so that's how I set it up, and then if you wanted to go to the daily, then you would just go ahead and click on 1 day. Oops, you just click on the daily, and then the daily will pop up, and you can do your planning for that, and then go back to 10, and going back to 10 once again, it's just M10 and then hit enter. And then when you're all done, you can put this back, and then if you want to show this one, and you can also increase the size that way. You have all your tools here. Your tools are fairly easy. If you want to draw lines and so forth, you have your lines right here. If you want to put a circle in there, it's right there. Just press OK. And one of the things, the tool stays open. One of the things I found that's effective is to get out of the tool right away. If you right click, it'll actually go away, and then you can actually delete the line or create another one or something like that. So and then if you want to see how far, like this is kind of nice, if you want to see how far the pair has moved in a certain section, it'll tell you how many pips it's moved. I use that a lot too. So a lot of these other things I don't use, but I leave them on, and just for whatever reason, just because I don't want to, because every time I have a new version or something like that, things change on it. So Anyway, I think that's going to be enough for you to be able to understand how to customize your screen and get all your charts going on there and stuff. And once again, you want to keep your summary down here during your trade so you can right click and close out of your position, and this makes it a lot easier to go ahead and create an order, buy into it, and so forth. So anyway, that's it.